Now at 11, community members gather in front of the menorah in Lexington in solidarity tonight, showing support for the stabbing victims in New York. And Pizza Hut responds after a Lexington delivery driver threatens to spit in a customer's pizza.
ABC 36 News Weekend Edition starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Monica Harkins. Thanks for joining us tonight. Our top story: as the end of the 8-day Jewish holiday Hanukkah comes to a close, Jewish people across the country are somber instead of celebratory. The New York State Hate Crime Task Force is investigating a stabbing attack at a Hanukkah celebration. 5 people were hospitalized Saturday night. Officials say 2 are in critical condition. This is the latest in a string of anti-Semitic incidents this past week. And those in Lexington are also feeling the pain. ABC 36's Carmen Lofton went to tonight's memorial, where the light from the menorah meant a little more.
A rainy, somber evening. This group braving the weather to gather with heavy hearts during Hanukkah, what should be a time of celebration and remembrance.
We stand with you. We stand against hate, and we're not going to try the same thing twice.
After 5 people in New York were seemingly targeted for their faith, the Lexington Jewish community is pausing to stand in solidarity against the anti-Semitic violent acts against Jewish people worldwide. Elizabeth Jones says as a mother, it's important for her to teach her kids about the history of their faith, saying unfortunately the Jewish community is no stranger to persecution.
We know that those things, as end times come, that those persecutions will continue.
The uptick in anti-Semitic events now has a community reeling with questions. Rabbi Shlomo Lippin says several local officials reached out to him offering comfort.
Chief Weathers called me, inquired on how our community was, and pledged his help however he could. Congressman Barr has been a tremendous advocate against anti-Semitism, and his office reached out. And the entire community just reached out and said, how can we help? This doesn't represent us.
He says there's only one way to move forward.
But people want to know, what do we do now? And the answer is we have to try something new. This isn't something that happened out of the blue. When you have politicians and public figures who are constantly spewing anti-Semitism, this is just a natural occurrence.
Through it all, this community says they'll stand together in faith.
I have faith that God protects us, and He is faithful no matter what the circumstances are.
In Lexington, Carmen Lofton, ABC 36 News.
Thanks, Carmen. Well, even in that video, you could see the rain just kept on coming down. Well, we've seen that rain all day, even up to 2 inches and 2.5 inches in some places. Here's meteorologist George Zabrecki with a look at your forecast.
With all that rain, you would expect having some flood problems. And in fact, that is what we have in parts of the Commonwealth. Take a look at this map and you'll see we have a flood watch up until 2 a.m. We have a flood advisory up near Jackson and London, and that takes us on into the wee hours of the morning. Right now, we're not seeing any major flooding, but I'm guessing that there's some of those creeks and small rivers that are prone to have issues are over their banks at this moment. Right now, our live Fork Bank sky view of Hamburg and points west showing the visibility increasing just a little bit. We still have some rain out there. Temperature still very, very mild for this time of year. Also notice the camera bouncing a bit. The east winds at 17 miles per hour. Look at the temperatures up to the northwest, starting to cool off a little bit into 40s. Those cooler temperatures are in fact working their way towards us. Right now we're still very balmy for this time of year. We should be in the lower 40s. We're still in the 50s at this hour. Live HD shows a lot of rain still out there just east of the metro. Further east, you see some heavier rain near Sadiesville there and Campton. And then further south, we still have some more scattered showers. In London, you have a nice low shower, but all that will be coming to an end after midnight. Here's our forecast. 46 tomorrow morning, very little temperature change throughout your Monday. And then we do get colder. I'll tell you again the specifics of how much rain we had across the area coming up in just a few minutes. Now it's time for Solid Blue.
The basketball Cats beat Louisville in overtime. That's all that matters, but they came close, and I mean inches away from winning in regulation. After a shot from Tyrese Maxey and Miss Keon Brooks would go for the tip-in, and somehow, laws of gravity can't explain it, the ball goes in and rims out. No worries though, the Cats would regroup, fight in overtime, and seal the victory over Louisville. With that being said, as a player, how do you pull it all back together after being so close to winning?
The huddle was just saying, Coach Cal was just telling us we're good. I mean, we got 5 minutes, 4 minutes, however many overtime is, and just go out there and win again.
I was just trying to tell everybody to relax, stay calm. We got another 5 minutes because it's harder, you know. You're so close to winning. It's like, dang, we was right there. We was about to be celebrating, and now we got another tough 5 minutes to play against a really good team. So we were just trying to calm everybody down. Coach was trying to calm us down just to get ready to play those last 5 minutes.
Free throws. That was the difference down the stretch for the Cats. Hear from Coach Cal on that. Also, it's time to start previewing the Belk Bowl. ABC 36's Zalsa Miller has arrived in Charlotte. Hear from him later in sports. Monica, back to you.
Thanks, Brian. Pizza Hut says a Lexington delivery driver was fired after she sent text to a customer using a racial slur and threatening words. Sheree Bledsoe says she and her roommates were ordering online from Pizza Hut on Waller Avenue for the first time and accidentally left a 9-cent tip when paying online. Bledsoe says then the Pizza Hut driver called them and said she wasn't going to deliver their pizza and apparently harassed the customers on the phone. Bledsoe then posted on Facebook these screenshots showing what the delivery driver texted her roommate. The texts say, quote, "Was that good food? Best believe it was spit in," and "Come here and kiss my feet." The post has over 600 comments and nearly 2,000 shares. In a statement, a spokesperson for Pizza Hut says, quote, "We were shocked by the driver's text messages, but have no reason to believe anyone's food was actually compromised." It continues to say the language was unacceptable and the driver has been fired. Lexington police say a man died overnight in a single car crash. The coroner says 33-year-old Talon Lee Jones died at the scene of the crash on Russell Cave Road in Ironworks Pike. Around 1:30 in the morning Sunday, police say he drove off the road and crashed into a tree. In Montgomery County, part of I-64 was shut down this morning because, get this, a semi-truck was too tall and didn't fit under the overpass. The Transportation Cabinet says it happened at mile marker 110. Crews had to block the interstate while the semi-truck backed up the 3 miles to the nearest exit. In Danville, deputies say they arrested a pregnant woman for drug trafficking. According to Boyle County Sheriff's Office, Christopher Heath and Aileen Berry were pulled over in a normal traffic stop yesterday. When deputies looked inside the car, they say they found scales, a small bag of heroin, and a small bag of meth. Because she's 8 months pregnant, Berry was taken to the hospital. Deputies say once she was there, staff members found a large bag of meth on her. Berry is now also facing wanton endangerment in addition to charges related to dealing meth. And coming up, the rain isn't going to stop anytime soon. We've got meteorologist George Zarecki, who's tracking those storms late into the night. That's coming up next.